It's time for Law in Our Life. That means that Hyunju, who is a lawyer that practices here in the city of Gwangju, is in our studio, and she's going to tell us all about some Korean laws. Hello, Hyunju.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm all right. What have we got for today? You said it's a little bit related to what we had last week.
Yes, it's an issue related to privacy rights.
Now, last week, of course, we were talking about whether parents have the rights to put up pictures of their kids online. Now, what are the privacy rights about today?
Today, I'd like to talk about posting YouTube vlog with somebody else in it.
Okay, which you're kind of doing right now.
Yes.
All right, I should pay attention then. Tell us about this.
Yes, many of you have seen daily blogs or daily vlogs on YouTube. As they post their daily life, often in the video, they film the passers-by as background features. Would it be legal to film or take photos of people around you and post a video or photos with their face identifiable on your social media accounts?
All right, well, now tell us about it.
Yes.
Give me an example.
Sure. Let's imagine you're filming your vlog in the cafe and happen to have some patrons in your frame. One may come over and ask you to delete the file as you infringed her privacy right. Yeah, one may wonder whether even an ordinary lay person has such rights, even though they are not celebrities.
Well, I hope that celebrities don't have special rights. Right. You know, we should all have the same rights, whether or not we're famous. I have trouble imagining having an ego big enough to take a vlog of my daily life in a cafe. But if I did, maybe my ego would be strong enough that I'd want to say, well, no, I'm doing you a favor. You're going to be famous. So is there a result of this in the Korean legal system?
Yes. According to Korean Supreme Court, a person holds portrait right, which is a right that one will be protected against any attempt by others to film, describe, publish, or commercially use one's image or face or bodily features that makes one identifiable.
Okay.
So such right is constitutionalized right under Constitutional Law Article 10, Provision 1.
There we go. It's in the Constitution, people.
Yes.
All right. So what do we have to do then to get around this?
Yeah. Therefore, one who'd like to film or publish other person's, with other person's face or bodily features that makes one identifiable, they should get the prior consent from the person who will be filmed or be taken photos.
Right. Okay, I can remember something like this. My first year in Korea, out in front of a store, they were they're getting people to taste beer. And then getting their reaction. But when you did that, you had to sign something.
Oh, really?
Because they were taking a video of you.
Right.
And maybe they were going to use you for some kind of commercial or something like that. And so I guess you're signing away your right to be used in that case. All right. Are there some exceptions to this? Because, some places are public, right?
Yeah. The photo shooting or film in the public space does not shield them. So in the previous lawsuit, one argued that as it is a public space that are open to public, they have a right to film it. But photo shooting and so they argued photo shooting in public space is not illegal. But the court did not agree.
Oh, so there's precedent.
Yes.
Even if it's in public.
Yes.
Okay. Anything else that we should know?
Also, the consent of filming or photo shooting itself cannot be sufficient in certain cases. So, as you said, even though you consent on being filmed, if you do not agree that you will be appearing on the commercials, then it's a different thing.
Okay, they can't trick me.
No.
They have to tell me if it's being used for political purposes or advertising or commercials or something. Okay.
So depending on the purpose of photo shooting, the objective of release or publication of the film or photos, or commercial practices, or the party's relevant knowledge, experience, social status, or whether the compensation was given or not, or whether the party might have agreed differently if he had known that about the publication method, etc. The filmmaker should have got the consent on the scope of such release or publication method if he intends to spread it beyond the like socially acceptable boundaries, like not only just posting on his account, but trying to use it for like advertisements. So it means that one has a right not to be published.
All right. The right to not be published.
Yeah, so the consent to the photo shooting is one thing, and the consent to upload, it is different, another thing.
Oh, okay.
So let's say that you took a photo of your girlfriend while you were meeting each other, and after you broke up, if you post your photo online, it's assumable that it will be against her will.
Right.
Because she agreed on like photo shooting itself, but she may not agree on like spreading it.
Right. And of course, that's really important for like revenge porn, right?
Yeah.
When people post intimate pictures or intimate videos after a bad breakup. And so I guess that would make that illegal.
Yep.
Okay, good. It should be illegal. Now, I understand you have kind of an example of this happening in Korea.
Yeah, there was an interesting case about the portrait right.
Okay.
So one photographer took a photo of a person enjoying the Boryong Mud Festival. Boryong Mud Festival is famous for like all the activities that and using in the mud.
Yeah, so much mud. I went there in 2006 when I was a young man. And it's a wild place.
Yeah. So the photographers submitted that photo for the Boryong Mud Festival poster competition. And the photo was selected. And it became the poster to advertise the festival. One day, a friend found the lady in the Boryong Mud Festival poster on the subway bulletin.
Okay.
So like she called the lady and said, "Oh, I found you on the poster."
Yeah.
The lady, festival participant in the photo, was upset. As she was sitting on the shoulder of a man with a mud on her face.
Right. Wearing a bathing suit, right?
Yes. So she was very embarrassed.
Yeah.
So she filed a lawsuit against the Boryong City Festival Committee, photographer, and the news media. The court decided that the defendant should compensate for her emotional distress.
Okay. That's interesting. And, you know, this actually makes me think of something that I used to see in the news here, not as much anymore. But it used to be in the Korean news that when the weather would get nicer, you'd always see these pictures in the news, and it would be of Waegukin women in bikinis at beaches or at swimming pools, in hotels. Like even like with a camera shot like between the bars of like the fence. And it was always like saying, "Oh, the weather is nice because look, these people are sunbathing." But you always, I mean, the purpose of the pictures was always to show women in bikinis, right? You know, like sex sells.
Yeah, right.
You know, it's trying to get readership, and it always struck me as really creepy because I'm sure nobody got their permission for that. And so this seems like something like that, right?
Yes, but it happened in like 2015. This case was 2015.
Right. Yeah. This was a little while ago.
So I think nowadays the journalists would be more aware of such issues.
Right.
So...
I don't see those pictures anymore.
Oh, yeah, right.
Over, you know, it's probably been about 5 years since I saw one. So maybe this case was a big one. And the Boryong Mud Festival used to be a big famous one that would happen with.
Right.
Whenever you saw pictures of the Mud Festival, it would always seem to be pictures of the most girls in bathing suits possible.
Yeah.
And so maybe they've... I don't know, are operating with a little more integrity now, so that's good.
Yeah. Actually, in this case, the news media was exempt from liability because they said when the news media got the photos with the kind of like news articles from Boryong City, they couldn't like go back and check whether the persons on the photo agreed or made consent to the photo shooting, so they can be like exempt from liabilities. But for the Boryong City or the photographer,
right?
Yeah, they are liable for the damage.
Okay, so I guess people have to be careful, right?
Sure.
So what if, like that example, what if the person comes over and says, "You have to delete your video"? Would I have to delete it? Or I'd need their permission to put it on my vlog?
You may then you can ask for their consent, permission.
Okay.
Or you can say like, I will then blur you.
Okay. Right. And of course, we see that often in Korea with pictures of people in the newspaper or in the news being blurred.
Yeah.
You know, or I guess, I don't know, you can put...
Or change their voices.
Right, yeah, the voice change. I always thought that was really funny watching Korean news.
Yeah.
That they do the voice changing so often.
Yeah.
That's we don't see that as much in our media. All right, that's cool. So it sounds like this. You said this is in the Constitution. There's precedent and some modern examples. So our image is protected. Now this is of course available online, right?
Yes, you can find this segment in YouTube and my YouTube channel. You can find me by searching Korean Law 101 on YouTube.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Bye-bye.
Bye.